Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today we're finally doing the Q&A that I am really far behind on. This was supposed to be a celebration for 1,500 subscribers, though now here we are at 1,600 and I feel like we're going to have to hold off on these for a while now. Probably maybe the next one at 5k, we'll see. But yeah, might not have to do one of these for a little while. Anyways, first question. What is your favorite vehicle or platoon? Now, I have a few favorites. I'd say for lower tiers, or like let's just say rank 5 and down, the M3, the M4A3 E2 76W Sherman platoon. In that particular platoon, of course, it would be the Jumbo itself. Very fun to play. It does have a decent bit of firepower. The armor is really good. It's not invincible, of course. There are some weak spots, and there are going to be a lot of vehicles and up tiers that can easily take care of you. But at its rank, it is extremely good. Dare I say it's the best at its rank, and is very enjoyable to play. For high tiers, it's always been the C2A1 ever since it's been in game. I just love how trolly it is, being able to eat up the tandem ATGMs or ATGMs with 1,200 millimeters of penetration against its composite armor and having it do 0 damage. It's really funny that way, but of course any armor piercing round will completely wreck it, which is a little bit of a, sad thing when you kind of think like, oh, it's so powerful, but it's not. But just because of that, I find it really funny and I love it so much. What do you think of the pay-to-win aspect of War Thunder Mobile? How would you improve it? Personally, I feel like the costs on individual vehicles, if we, when we move to a tech tree, should be fairly cheaper than how it is currently for a whole platoon. I can somewhat understand the cost for a platoon because not only are you paying for 4 separate vehicles, so technically it would be 1/4 of the price for one vehicle. You're also technically paying for the camouflage and the boosters, as well as, I believe, when we get them to be individual vehicles, they may be GE provided when you do a battle with them and do well. So you're kind of paying for all of those aspects together on one vehicle, though I don't feel like any individual vehicle should necessarily be more than, let's say, 15 bucks ever. I feel like doing over that would be too much. And of course, I don't know if Gaijin's going to follow that. They can do whatever they want, and we'll just see how it goes. But just my general advice would be to keep things kind of somewhat affordable, so even if they are seemingly pay to win, they're not like incredibly expensive. In your opinion, what does War Thunder Mobile need to do in order to possibly overtake WotB in player count in the future? One of the big things that I see on World of Tanks Blitz that's not yet on War Thunder Mobile would be custom games. I know that we're going to get them eventually. There have been a couple of times that the developers have stated that they are necessarily planned, yet not, in the nearer future, but they are eventually going to be worked on. So I think getting that implemented would be very important, as well as getting helicopters. I don't know where they would put them, but I know getting helicopters in War Thunder Mobile would be a big advantage, as well as having a way to mix aviation and naval, or aviation and ground, whatever you've grinded. Having those combined, I know it would be like realistic battles on War Thunder PC or console. And having that aspect of combined forces would really greatly help, I feel. Why did I start playing War Thunder Mobile? Frankly, I started playing War Thunder Mobile because I was bored of World of Tanks Blitz. I didn't like how long the grind was on World of Tanks Blitz, and frankly, I was only interested in like a few vehicles. I wasn't really interested in grinding a whole line for each individual nation. Unlike how on War Thunder Mobile, I saw that we could get even more advanced tanks, and that was also what really caught my eye. Even when I started, I feel like when I eventually did get to top tier, the most advanced thing was just the STRV 103, Though getting up to there, I was like, oh my goodness, now we have anti-tank guided missiles. I love that. Oh, and we have working machine guns. That's so fun. And oh, smoke actually works, and we can call in artillery. And all these different aspects of like, oh, this is a new feature that I've never tried before. It was very enjoyable, as well as, like simple things like having aviation in ground matches. That was a new aspect that I wasn't ready for, and having it be there, I loved it so much. I also was watching War Thunder content creators before even playing like the base game myself for about a year and a half before I even joined War Thunder Mobile, which was on the release week. I just felt like War Thunder Mobile was new, interesting, and innovative, and that's why I wanted to join it in the first place. Should tech trees have been implemented from the initial release, or did the platoons add a needed unique difference from the PC console version? Will I miss platoons? I'd say, frankly, I probably will miss platoons a little bit, because I'm not super heavily interested in having a whole lot of change. Normally when I get into some sort of rhythm, I like to stay in that rhythm, and because of that, I would be a bit, a bit sad when we do change from having platoons, though I do feel it was necessary, because upon the game's release, we only had up to like kind of early-ish Cold War tanks, and I don't really think we would have done super well, because then at that point we're just copying like World of Tanks Blitz, where we have all the way up to those tanks, and we didn't really have proper lineups, so we couldn't have a full line of research, or vehicles would be added in between for researching, and that would be really chaotic, and we probably wouldn't get proper like event items, because the event items would also have to be researchable, because some vehicles from the Platinum Wolf stuff or events should probably be on the tech tree, which they might be researchable in the upcoming, we'll see. But just that aspect of having it be separate, having to research vehicles separately, would make it a whole lot more difficult, opposed to getting 4 and then easily being able to unlock one after the other with a little bit of gameplay, or by purchasing it with GE, which you can fairly easily get. So yes, I do feel like it was necessary. If you could tell/ask the War Thunder mobile development team one or two things, what would they be? Well, I'd say one, because I've been so heavily looking forward to it. Is there a rough time of when we could get custom games? Not necessarily like date specifically or a month. I just would like, let's say later 2026, and I'd be happy with that. Or, something like that, something along the lines of that. My second item that I would ask for is if I could possibly get a custom something in-game. I know it's a little bit selfish, but if I could, I feel like I would have done my job properly as a War Thunder mobile content creator, because that at this point, that's probably my end goal, is to get myself into the game possibly, while still giving you guys as much content as I possibly can. Why should current players continue playing War Thunder Mobile or not? As of right now, I think it is probably one of the best times to be playing the game, as we're about to switch over to tech trees. That's going to add a whole bunch of new aspects to the game, which are going to be very fun to play, and I also feel that just playing now to research items, unlock new things before we switch over to a tech tree is very crucial. Besides that, I feel like if people do feel done with the game and they want to drop it for a while, I'd say if you are going to do that, like you are hard set on leaving the game for a period of time, and you are like, there's nothing that's going to bring you back, I'd say probably the best time to return would be when we get jets, because that's going to change up the game a little bit, and it's going to be very fun, it's going to be interesting, and from there, the game's just going to get even more wild. So that would be my recommended return time if you guys feel like you need a break from the game. I myself, I'm probably going to continue playing it for a while. Is content creation like your main job, or do you also do other things? Just wondering. I mean, for now, it's the only thing that I really get money from. I technically don't meet the requirements to go and get a job where I live, and because of that, I can't get a job, and also because of that is the other reason I am doing War Thunder mobile content, because I find it fun, I find it enjoyable, and YouTube pays me a very little bit. I know some players are like, oh, content creators, they should be able to pay for everything in game. I'm in the War Thunder mobile partnership program for a reason. I probably couldn't buy the stuff myself if it wasn't for the partnership program, because YouTube does not pay that much at all. Not for me, at least. I know it varies from creator to creator, but I do not make that much. So, no, I am not financially independent. I do get some money from other people, and I do have stuff provided for me by others. When I do get a job, I'll let you guys know, so I'm not, just running around without one forever. What's your favorite song, favorite movie series, and your favorite meme? Okay, this is a large set of questions. I think my favorite song as of right now would be Running by Sakai. I know it's an NCS song. I know I just started listening to it lately, but I really like the lyrics in the song, and I like the flow, I like the beat. I like electronic dance music, I'll proudly say that. But outside of like electronic dance music, I would say Undeniable by Toby Mac. That is one of my favorite songs. It's probably going to stay one of my favorite songs for a very long time. Favorite movie series? Let's see. I know Tron is getting a sequel, and I really enjoyed the second Tron movie, which is more of just the modernized version of the first one. I really like that. Besides that, let's say, I don't think Band of Brothers is necessarily a movie series, though with how long the episodes are, it is a TV show. Each episode being an hour long, it kind of feels like a movie series. So for second place, I'll say Band of Brothers. My favorite meme. Oh dear. Let's say, as you can probably guess, I want to say Doge, because that's kind of what I based my channel name around. I was like, oh, that's a funny meme. I'll just use that name for my channel because it's recognizable and people won't easily forget it in case I had something else that was random. Besides that, I'm gonna say Michael Rosen. He's just funny. I don't know. The YTPs of him, the clean ones, I want to specify, are fairly funny, and I do enjoy those a lot. Load of questions, no need to answer them all. Favorite song, we already mentioned that. What do you think about Community? So, Community in general, right? Like, everyday people you go past, it's very important to have a good, thriving life. I don't think this is what you meant by the question. I think you're talking about the War Thunder mobile community. Our community in particular, I've gotten, I don't want to say like close with a bunch of our community members, but I have repeatedly seen multiple of them on the Discord, which I love engaging with the people on the War Thunder mobile Discord. It is very good time most of the time. The War Thunder mobile community is very close together. We do enjoy each other's company, and we do like to make jokes, and that's what I appreciate about our community. Who's your favorite War Thunder mobile YouTuber? This is probably going to break y'all's hearts, but I don't really watch War Thunder mobile YouTubers all that much. From time to time, I'll hop into some of the streams that I see going on. Like, I know Carrot Brain streams fairly often, and then I'll watch some of his streams for a little bit. Or Frog Thunder, Miku, the Silly. From time to time, I'll just go into these players' videos, maybe drop a comment, watch a little bit of it. But I don't spend a lot of my time watching videos, and when I do, it's typically for other games and stuff like that, not necessarily the War Thunder mobile community itself. Especially for like any time when I'm working on something for, I don't know, like a project, I'll just put on a video of like some World War II thing so I can just watch and listen at the same time while doing my work, so I'm not bored. But yeah, I don't really watch War Thunder Mobile YouTubers a lot in my free time. My favorite platoon, we've already talked about that. What do you think about me? You are a pretty fun player. I feel like we should probably play together more often. I have enjoyed every single one of our recording sessions together, and I would be interested in having you over again for another video to do. Do positive comments make your day? I don't want to say that they necessarily make my day, because I feel like that would be putting an extremely high regard, and I feel like that would be a little bit of a emotional instability if I got all of my joy just from the comments that I got, if you guys know what I mean, because then if they turn to insults and stuff, then that would really tear me down, and that would be very bad. But I do certainly extremely appreciate all of the comments and the praise that I get from the War Thunder Mobile content. I do appreciate the community that we've made, and as long as you guys appreciate my content, I will happily continue to still make it. And if you guys don't appreciate it, I will still happily continue to make it. But it does make me smile when I see you guys are happy with what I'm doing. What made you start making YouTube videos? Or who or what was your inspiration to make a YouTube channel? So, over multiple years, I was introduced to YouTube at a fairly young age because I had internet access on a family device, and because I had internet access on that family device, I did start watching content creators, again, quite a long time ago. Back then, I was mostly watching like Dan TDM, popular MMOs, creators like that where they're doing interesting, showcases for Minecraft, because I was heavily into Minecraft at the time. Slowly that dissolved into pretty much anything else that was popular at the time. I started watching Markiplier because of the FNAF videos, and then slowly grew to like his content more and more. And then eventually, sometime after like 5th grade, when I was getting into 6th grade, I got heavily into World War II stuff, so I started watching Extra Credits and other informational YouTube channels, and I think I'll just throw up like a bunch of different YouTubers on screen that I currently watch. All of these creators more or less led to me eventually creating a channel of my own, especially Manny Gaming. I know when he was doing War Thunder Mobile, or not War Thunder Mobile content, my bad, War Robots content, that is more or less what really got me into playing video games and then recording it, because I really enjoyed what he was doing and I wanted to be a part of the community myself. So because of him, he was kind of the final push that got me into content creation, because I really wanted to, deeply enjoy just the community of what I could from content creation. And yeah, I hope I've answered your question. And yeah, let's continue. First of all, congrats on 1.5k. Thank you so much. If you had the chance to delete, add, and change anything in War Thunder Mobile, what would you do? Change? First off, we're fixing the M247 York. We are fixing this for once and for all. It is not going to be able to kill a mouse. It's not going to be as easily able to kill an MBT frontally, probably. That's one of the things we have to change immediately. Next, add. Okay, besides custom games, because we've already spoke on that, and besides helicopters, I just want the radars on ground units to be, modeled to be working. I don't really care that the, green information stuff is there that you'd see on PC or whatever. I just wish the animation would be playing when you have the radars up, so that their radar dish would be actually working. I feel like that would be a little bit of just an added visual thing that would help the game. I don't know if you guys agree with that, but I just feel like it would be helpful, or just a little bit more interesting. If I had to delete something, or was the M247 the thing I wanted to kind of delete or change? Okay, to just remove entirely. Let's see. Honestly, the Ekranoplan. I know it was a very fun vehicle to play. I know a lot of players are very happy with it. However, it has somewhat ruined rank 6 naval and rank 5 naval, and because of that, it needs to be changed or rebalanced in some way. As of right now, the easiest way to go about that would just be to remove it, temporarily remove it. For the players that do have it, a little bit like of a GE, substitution for a period of time, you'd get like, I don't know, 50 GE per day while you don't have it, but just for a while to not have that in game, it would make naval a lot more breathable in top tier, and I feel like that is something that we need again, because it is kind of ridiculous. Okay, let's see here. Okay, your question is, do cows always light their heads before they turn into 3-stroke carrot-fed iron steel machines for equipping combat cats sent from Germany to the South Pole for the abduction of old penguins with the aim of exploiting 75% of their lives to make honey for Turkish gnomes without destroying the soil for planting inexperienced flamethrowers, in order to prevent the extermination of a population of 28,504 ancient Chinese goats powered by diesel jet engines inhabiting the upper ends of North Asian factory for producing small remains of ship platforms founded by Zelbaiko Spelzedur Visrare VII, who discovered the production of warning sharp pieces of middle-aged corn used for overfeeding near extinct mammoths, with frequent constipation prevented by sitting on active geysers. No, they don't always do it, but it's on alternating Tuesdays on, like every 4th month. So it's only for, like just a couple days. It's like 6 days a year, though it is very important that they do it. Anyways, next question. In a stream, I heard you are from the US, but you don't live there. So what country do you live in? Also, congrats. Yes, I do not live in the United States, but I do have a United States citizenship. Currently, I am living in Europe, and I've been here for a period of time. I'll be able to specify it later on in the channel's life, but as of right now, I cannot specify any further. Looking forward to the new school year. Let's just say it's been a bit rough so far, and we've barely started. I am looking forward to the latter portion of the school year, yes, but as of right now, I'm not super hyped about it. What do you think of the 2nd anniversary? I feel like the 2nd anniversary event would have been better if they did it more so how we had the 1st anniversary event. I wasn't a huge fan of how much of a grind the 2nd anniversary event was in comparison with the 1st. Though I can somewhat understand why they made it this way. So if I could change it, I would probably make it more like the 3rd, where we could actually get the platoons from the drops, and I would try to have it so there's a system to actually be able to get as many war bonds as possible. That could lead us to getting all 3, opposed to the system that we had that made it extremely difficult to get all 3. How is it going? In general, it's going pretty good. The channel's doing decently well. I'm pretty happy with where I am in life currently, and I'm glad that I can make content for you guys still. And if that changes, I will, of course, let you know. Mentally, there's nothing wrong. I don't have any issues. And yeah, I'm really content with my life right now, not content. Thank you for asking. Is the M247 more broken than Falcon? As of right now, I would be pretty confident that it's more broken than the Falcon. The Falcon itself, I feel like there just needs to be more spalling from when like APFSDS hits it or something like that. But it's somewhat manageable. Same with the M247. But yes, as of right now, it is more broken. Players in the Discord are crying because it can overpressure tanks. They are. That's very true, because it is a little bit broken right now, and they have done a slight fix to it. However, a lot of players believe that there is a full fix that has to be completed that has not been completed yet, and hopefully that will come sooner or later. What's the best premium in War Thunder Mobile for its price? I'd say the Calliope, which I know everybody doesn't like how I pronounce it, because I would say Calliope, but sure, Calliope. It's fairly cheap. It's actually the most expensive GE vehicle on War Thunder, I think, or at least last time I looked it up, it was like 9,900 something or something like that. And on War Thunder Mobile, it's like for a little over 1,000. I don't know. I bought it a long time ago, and I cannot look at the price anymore. So, yeah, that's probably a really good one for the price. I know a lot of players will say, "Oh, the KV2 is." The KV2 is reasonable. It is really good for the price, and it is a great platoon. But personally, I prefer the Calliope more, and I'd say that's better or more worth it, in my opinion. What's the worst tank, and why do I like it? The BT-7A, I think, is a fairly terrible tank in, what most players think. Well, I've seen a lot of players saying that it is one of the worst tanks. Though, of course, a lot more would agree on saying the Churchill 1 is worse and the Valentine is even worse. But anyway, I feel like the BT-7 is really fun to play. It's challenging, but it's good. It's very good. And that's why I like it. I do like a little bit of a challenge, but not too much that it feels almost impossible. Tips for a new YouTube channel. Primarily update consistently. Probably use your voice at this point if you're not going to use. If you're not intending on using your voice, at least use an AI voice. Just something so that people can hear you. But if you don't want to do that, it does open up your channel to being more international, because if you don't have a voice, then more people are going to be able to reach out and hear your content. Any updates on the tech tree? I'd say for the tech tree, as far as I know, and everything that I do know, we have a chance at getting newer, lower rank vehicles. How high, I do not know the chance. And we're supposed to have a larger news thing about it, is supposedly this week. However, I've not yet seen it. I think it's the upcoming week that we're going to have that. So just looking forward to that would be my largest helping hand. That's all I know right now. Favorite Skittle flavor? I do like the orange Skittles. I'm going to have to say the orange ones. Face reveal at 10K. I don't know. We'll have to see where we're at, kind of, as a whole channel and community by the time we hit 10K. I'm not going to say no, though I want to say the chances aren't like a complete yes. We'll have to see. And even hitting 10K, I feel, is nearly impossible. We have had a steady growth on this channel for a while now, but I don't really see that as being something I can accomplish at this point. So it's more or less just a matter of time. We'll figure it out when we get closer to like 5K or 6K or so. Do I have a Doge, and if so, what kind? I do have a Doge, yes. Though it is not a Shiba. I wish I had a Shiba. I might get one eventually. We'll see. Yeah, I have a Labrador Retriever. He's, I think, what, like, he's not 14, but he's kind of getting up there in age. No, he's 11. He's 11 years old as of right now. Human years, not dog years. A very old guy. I love him a lot. He's very sweet, and I've had him for quite some time. Though, as of right now, I'm away from him, because I am for most of the year. But I will hopefully see him again next summer. We'll have to see. Would you consider having other people in your videos where they talk and help show off platoons? I would consider it, yes. However, working those things out are fairly difficult, and it is fairly easy to just work on videos alone, and that's kind of why I enjoy doing it a lot. And collabing, I don't want to say it's difficult, or like, it's time consuming or anything like that, because it's not necessarily either. I feel more comfortable with how my content's going to turn out when it's just me doing it, honestly. So yes, maybe, but they probably have to be one of the content creators that I already know or talk to currently, opposed to being someone new. Am I a B-2 bomber pilot? If I was, I probably wouldn't be allowed to say it anywhere ever, or I'd have to say something like, oh, I don't currently have a job or something like that. So probably not, no. Could I become one in the future? I don't think so, honestly. It seems like too much work, and I don't know how I'd be able to get videos out to you guys while I was doing that, or if I did that, which I definitely do not do that. Yeah. What do you want to be added to the game outside of everything else that we've mentioned prior? Let's see. Probably, I think we did mention this, but I do want it to happen. Aviation in naval matches. I would be heavily interested in having some form of aviation in naval matches outside of what we currently have, where you get a little biplane or, you know, single wing aircraft that has bombs that are really small. Something more advanced, something more interesting, I would be open to that, and I would be looking forward to seeing that in the eventual future of the game. Are you focusing on a full-time job on YouTube? I am hoping that someday I get enough money from YouTube that I wouldn't necessarily have to work a full-time job, though I'm extremely confident that I'm going to get a full-time job anyway to, you know, actually be able to pay rent and stuff like that. But if I could go fully just off of YouTube, I would love to, and I don't really see it happening in the future, though if it does, I would be very content with that. I would. And it turns out those are all of the comments we have. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching. This has been a very interesting Q&A that I've put off again for way too long. And hopefully in the next video we're not going to ramble so much, but we're going to have to see. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys again soon in the next one.